YEKINDAR, congratulations through the playoffs. Tell me how you're feeling after that.
I mean, amazing. Obviously, after missing the last major, now being back to playoffs, we were in playoffs in Paris. I was in playoffs in Stockholm, and we truly believed that we are probably one of the top 8 teams that in the world, in a way. And obviously, we had bumps. We had the honeymoon period finish where you obviously start recognizing your weak spots and your kind of struggles, and we've addressed that a lot throughout this last 2 month period, because we were in Singapore. We stayed there after Singapore, after Blood Blast World Finals, for another week for a boot camp. Then we came to China. Now we're in China for like a month already, and we've been obviously, like, the practice in Asia can be sometimes rough. But all the spare time we've been using to theorize and to understand what is our flaws and everything. So it's just feels amazing that the work we did actually paid off.
It's been a hard road. You went 3-0 through the RMR. You went 3-0 through the first stage. 3-1 through the RMR. 3-0 through the first stage here. Coming off of that and coming into this, how did it feel to actually get through without too much trouble in the end?
I mean, obviously the draw kind of allowed us to maybe allowed us to not meet struggles early. I think, yes, of course, the Navi game was hard, but we had a heavily advantage. We had a 70 round nuke half, and we even lost today nuke. So it's definitely something that we're going to be working on. And I think the draw, obviously, we got after Navi, I think we got Gamer Legion, and after Gamer Legion we got Furia, and now we got MIBR. No offense to these teams, but it's at the same time, it's not also like G2 or FaZe or Mouse or any of the teams that we actually previously have struggled against, right? And GG's to all the teams that played. Obviously, if they were in the situation that we needed to play against them, obviously they made quite some good upsets, right? So it is what it is, but we're happy to reach playoffs.
Something that was being talked about a lot on broadcast and also on social media during the match is just how close you're sitting to your monitor. Can you just comment on that?
The thing is, I'm playing in tier 1 maybe for 5 years or 4 years maybe, yeah, and always I've been sitting this close, and suddenly after 4 years people are like, oh, he's sitting so close to the monitor. Guys, you're telling this every year, every month, every day, every official I play. It's okay. I don't know, I just feel like I'm more, as funny as it is gonna sound, in the game, in a way. And I had a lot of course, troubles this last year, and I've been trying different postures, different ways of kind of sitting, different distance from the monitor, and this is something that I came to after a lot of testing, a lot of practicing.
On the topic of that performance, it has been a rough period for you. Better this tournament, at least. How do you feel individually coming back into form a little bit and making the playoffs with this result?
I mean, I'm super happy. I think this team, we said it from the start, that these are the pieces that could be title contenders together. And obviously it feels nice to go playoffs, and it feels nice to actually not underperform that heavily how I underperformed before. And of course, it's been a hard period. I've been off social media for a long while now, because the community just eats you alive, and it's something social media is good when you're winning, when you're playing good, but when you're playing bad, it's something that's gonna break you. And of course, there was hard periods of life, but a lot of self-reflection, and I think Mitter and Twistzz as well helped me a lot. I've changed roles on many maps, and this kind of role change maybe gave me a little bit of fresher look or fresher outlook on the game and in the team, and I'm happy that I had some good games, and it's a great start for me to come back for the next season as well.
I remember at the RMR, the last RMR, I think, that I talked to you at, you'd said something similar, where you said that you weren't on social media, you were kind of ignoring it. And I remember reading some comments after where people said, oh, is he just ignoring the criticism? Just wondering what you have to say about that.
The thing is, there's rarely criticism that is actually viable from the fan base, from the community. I think most of them are just hating, in terms of like there's no criticism when somebody says "go fuck yourself" or like well, I'm gonna kill all your family or anything like that. And that's why I'm listening to criticism, obviously, but I'm listening to criticism from people closer to my team, closer from my team, closer around me, that actually understand what could be the problem, and people who actually understand the game.
Making the playoffs here, Twistzz in-game leading. You briefly in-game led for a bit, and then Twistzz has been up and down a little bit. There's been a couple of T-sides that have been questionable. Even in this, the second map was a little bit rough, but then you came back on Anubis with a much better T-side. What's it been like relinquishing those reins, even though it was quite a while ago, but seeing how Twistzz has taken that over now and how that's flourished?
I think Russ is a natural agile. I think he at the start, of course, needed time to kind of understand like what is the specific direction he would want to play and how he would want to feel in a team. I think after like 3 months into the team, he understood it and started developing the right habits inside the team and the right direction inside of the team. And I think he's super comfortable in calling now. Of course, we sometimes have these rough halves, or like, and not only T halves. We have had some rough CD halves as well, and it's more like not on like Russ that he called bad or something. It's more about the whole team, how we usually play and how we feel during that specific moment. And he is calling really from my like, if you would compare me my calling, how I called before, maybe I would not call you like that, but he has a lot more freedom in between his players, and a lot more kind of allowance to go for certain plays but take responsibility for it. I would get mad if somebody just like like if we had a good like call or whatever, and somebody just went for a play. Like, no, of course not always, but when it happens like fourth or fifth time, and for us when it happens fourth and fifth time, yeah, Russ can get a little bit, but he brushes it off really easily.
And then lastly, just heading into the playoffs, it's going to be a much bigger crowd, a lot more pressure. Everything's kind of led up to this end of the year. How are you feeling about that and going into this last stage of the major and the end of the year?
Well, obviously there's going to be pressure, and obviously there's going to be nervousness. That's like just part of the game, part of the playoff game and arena game. And I honestly think that we came here for the arena and for these feelings. And as nervous or as stressed you can be, like to be before the start of the match, when you're actually playing the game and everything, eventually you're calming down, and eventually you're becoming your best version of yourself, and that feeling is amazing.
So thank you.
Thank you.